What's up, guys? We are at one of my favorite parks that is by my house called Nelson Ledges, doing a little bit of hiking, and I brought my new Mavic Air 2S drone by DJI. Thought we'd come here, do a couple hikes. We've been having a lot of rain lately, so the waterfalls and stuff here should be flowing pretty well. They're not very big waterfalls, but nonetheless, I think it'll be really cool to get the drone up in the air. Kind of test it out a bit. This is not the full review of the drone. This is more gonna be like my initial thoughts of using it a couple times. I've used it several times now. I've owned several DJI drones, including the DJI Phantom 4 Pro, as well as the Mavic 2 Pro. And the question I'm trying to answer is this new Mavic Air 2S the best of both worlds? Meaning, is it the best in terms of quality for form factor, meaning the size versus the quality you get out of it? So let's go ahead and hike over to the waterfall. We'll set everything up and do a couple shots. It's beautiful here today because there's literally water just falling from everywhere, dripping everything. It literally just finished raining, so should make for some gorgeous B-roll. All right, let's go. All right, guys, we just made it to the waterfall. I've been coming here a lot of years and shooting pictures of this waterfall and the other one on the other side of the park, and I have never seen it flowing like this ever. Normally you can cross down here. This is normally like a small little creek at the bottom. You can cross over there and go up the other side. If you've watched any of my previous vlogs from here, you've probably seen me do that. But it is now completely uncrossable. I'm thinking we might be able to hike back this way and get around it and go see, but I've never seen it flowing like this, so really excited to fly the drone in this and capture some of it. So it turned out to be a perfect day, other than it's super humid and I am sweating like crazy. It's like 80 degrees, and because of all this rain and wetness, it is just super muggy. But anyways, let me set up the drone and stuff, and then we'll get some B-roll shots of this, and then we'll move on to the next spot. Very cool, I'm excited. See how this thing performs. Alright guys, we just finished flying the drone over there at the waterfall. So now I did find out I could go around this from where I normally hike across that little creek. There was like a little rock bridge, you know, natural kind of bridge that was kind of there that I was able to cross. So we're still getting up here. The problem is normally at the top I also cross the creek to head to the second waterfall that I want to get to fly the drone a bit and test out the footage. And then once we do the second waterfall, I'll probably head back home, look at the footage, and then give you guys my thoughts on, again, whether this drone, my problem with drones has always been the same thing. For the really good quality, like the Phantom 4 Pro that I had, the problem was they're just huge, they're too big. And then when you get to the really small DJI drones, like the DJI Spark, they're just too small. And the problem is anything right now like the Mavic Pro 2, while the quality has gotten better and the size has gotten smaller, for me, they just have never reached that sweet spot to where it then warrants me taking up space in my main camera bag to bring the drone. The Mavic 2 was still just a little bit too big for me to justify all the space it took up. This Air 2 is much smaller, so I'm really hoping if the quality of the footage is good, considering it does 5.2K at 30 frames per second, and the fact that it also is extremely small, I think, and it has the 1-inch sensor like the Mavic Pros and stuff do. So it just might be the perfect drone for travel, travel photography, travel vlogs, which is a lot of what I do outside of my gaming videos. So, all right, let's head to the second waterfall. We'll fly the drone a bit more, and then we'll wrap things up. Let's go. Yeah, so here is the spot up here that I normally cross that can lead to the second waterfall, but I don't think it's happening. It's going quite a little too fast for my comfort, and you know, the edge is right there. So I don't think we're gonna try it out. I think we're gonna have to go back down and go all the way back around to the other side, unless I can find a way upstream to cross. But I don't have high hopes for that either, to be honest. It's flowing kind of good up there too. So, all right, we shall see. Just so you guys know, red stands for difficult trail. I do it for you, for the good shots like this. Look at these ledges and stuff. Isn't it beautiful? Absolutely stunning. And like I said, with all this rain, just everything is wet, dripping. It looks absolutely, I can't talk, absolutely gorgeous. Here, let me get a shot of this wall nice and close up for you guys to see. Okay, I may have lied, because I don't know if my fat self can fit through this crack. So maybe I'm not doing the red trail for you guys. Oh wait, I can fit through this, I think. Let's see. Let's see. Here, let's turn the camera around for you guys. Let's see if we can do it. I think we can fit through this one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's not too bad. All right, almost to the other waterfall. I am dying of sweat. It probably looks disgusting. I apologize. It is really humid. All right, let's keep going. guys, we made it to the second waterfall. So I'm gonna get the drone out again, get some shots. I think one of them is gonna be straight this way through here. Then I'll figure out some other shots, maybe from this side over here behind me. We'll see though, but I'm gonna set everything up with the drone, get some shots of this, and then like I said, we'll review the footage when I get home, and then I'll give a little update as to what I think of the drone footage compared to the size and all of that, and if this is the drone that'll finally earn a spot in my travel bag. All right, let's set everything up.
Lame the weed, too afraid to start the dreams that only came to pass them by. Here's to the broken man who stood and walked when he heard you can, 'cause it shows me that faith is more than sight. Whoa. Wandering child, looking for a star to guide, pushing through the darkness of the night. Hold your hand up to your heart, and know it's just a chance to start. I know that it might feel like it's too hard. Time to watch, grab a hand and make this day our march. Pulling down the walls we cross, fighting through the wars we lost, looking for the day when we have won. Whoa. All you need, this whole world doesn't see. Someday we could all be free. We could change the world if we would just believe. 'Cause faith and love is all you need. This whole world doesn't see. Someday we could all be free. Yeah, we could change the world if we would just believe.
Alright guys, so we are back home, and I have looked at the footage of the DJI Air 2S, and just wanted to kind of give my first impressions of using it a couple times. Like I said, this is not a full review of the product. That is coming. I am working on a full review of the DJI Air 2S. However, I want to make sure I actually have adequate time with it. I've only flown it about a half a dozen times so far, and again, before I actually give a full review, I don't want to be like a lot of other people and just kind of get it and hurry up and try to get one out. I want to make sure it's very thorough and I really understand the drone and whether it's worth the money or not. But my first impressions are that the video from this thing is spectacular. Them upgrading the sensor to a 1-inch sensor like the Mavic 2 Pro, definitely, or even the Phantom 4 Pro, I believe, has the 1-inch sensor. And them upgrading the sensor to that size definitely helps, especially in low light conditions. If you notice it all while I was there at that, forest, the ledges that I was at, it's a very dark environment. It is not a super bright environment. The entire canopy is covered, the trees cover the entire canopy while you're at the ledges. So it makes for it to be a very dimly lit, with just rays of sunshine kind of coming through the treetops and stuff. So it performed very well when I reviewed the footage, and I was quite pleased. I like that it goes up to 5.7K at 30 frames per second, although I most likely see myself using it at the 4K 60 FPS option. Just that way I'm able to slow it down if I want. I did film all of this footage that you're seeing in the 5.7K 30 FPS mode, just because I wanted to see the best quality this thing could output. In regards to the size of it versus the quality, I actually do think, I think I got a fly here in my office, I actually do think DJI has finally nailed the size versus quality, whatever you want to call it, that kind of sweet spot. Again, I've had several DJI drones, and the problem is, for example, when I had the DJI Phantom 4 Pro, unless I specifically knew that I was going to be doing drone footage, I would just never take it with me because it required me to have a separate container to carry it around in that was quite large. It was basically a cube, the carrying case that came with the original DJI Phantom 4 Pro. So unless I knew I was specifically going to a spot to do drone footage, I just wouldn't carry it with me because of the size of not just the drone, but the controllers as well as the chargers and everything that came with it. Even with the Mavic Pro 2 or Mavic 2 Pro, however you say that, I always forget, it was just still quite a little too large that I just couldn't easily slip it in my camera backpack or in my camera case, and I would have to carry a separate bag for it, which I just don't love. And while I did get the Fly More kit, which includes 2 extra batteries, the 3 battery charger, and a separate little small carrying case, the nice thing is I can carry it in this separate carrying case, but I will say it is small enough that I can also just throw it in my camera bag if I'm taking my full kit. When I went on this trip, I just brought my camera with me to vlog, and so I didn't even bring my main camera bag. I just carried the drone in this little pouch. So it is nice that it came with that, and it is high quality. I also like that it folds up like the DJI drones have been starting to do. But again, I remember even with my old Phantom 4 Pro, those didn't fold up at all, the propellers and stuff. So it was just as big as it was as small as it was. This is nice that it does fold up, and when it is folded up, it basically takes up the size of my palm in both directions, laying flat like this and also on its size. So basically the width, depth, and everything of it is about the size of a palm, a man's palm, 6-foot guy, So I also like the controller. So the original DJI Phantom 4 Pro had this kind of style where the phone sat on top. And then with the Mavic series, especially the 2, they kind of went to this where the bottom of the controller folded out and the phone sat in the bottom. I'm glad they went back to this top, view with the wire built in and stuff instead of that bottom. I still like how they have the controller sticks that actually unscrew and slide into the bottom here. I've not had an issue with them ever falling out in the Mavics or in these, but I like that it makes the controller nice and flat without the thumbstick sticking up, so that it just makes it easier to store. And overall, again, I'm just really impressed with DJI and what they've done over the last however long they've been producing drones. I mean, again, I remember the very first, the Phantom 3 that I had, and then go into the Phantom 4, and then the Mavic 2s. Like I said, I skipped the first series of Mavics, and now this. I just believe this is a sweet spot. I've not tried any of like the Sparks or anything like that, or the Minis, just because while I understand that they are absolutely phenomenal for traveling and stuff in terms of size, I just feel that they never hit that sweet spot of the quality still being really good. If you're shooting in perfect lighting conditions, yeah, they're going to do just fine. Just like most cameras, just like a cell phone and stuff will nowadays. But I wanted something that was just kind of, like I said, that sweet spot, and I think this is it. Like I said, this isn't a full review or anything. This is just my first thoughts of using it. I do want to use it a little more. But if you are interested in seeing my full review of the DJI Air 2S, then get subscribed to the channel. Like this video, that helps me out in the algorithm if you don't mind. And then subscribe to the channel by hitting the red subscribe button below. That way you get notified when I post the full review of this bad boy. I had a lot of fun flying it today. Like I said, the weather was perfect because we've had so much rain. The conditions out there, the waterfalls were flowing just tremendously. So it was super fun. Outside of it being super hot, as you can see, I'm in different clothes. I've shaved, all that stuff. I had to come home and shower because I was dripping in sweat the entire time I was there, just because of how muggy and hot it was because of all the rain and everything. Alright, but anyways, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me. I had a blast testing out the drone some more. And like I said, I am going to test it out a bit more, so the review could be a couple weeks in the making still. Nonetheless, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for leaving a like. Thanks for getting subscribed, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, later, nerds.
Why you upset like Cinderella teens? You should see the things I fit inside these denim jeans. I can't associate with y'all this shit like ketamine. Been on one, been on two, been on everything. Bitch, I'm with my gang, with my squad. What the fuck you want? So be rolling gas, I can't hang. Bitch, I'm fucking gone.